The system left utterly disappointed while I remained in this world. My fiancée publicly canceled our engagement. I lowered my head with a cold laugh. Isabella Quinn, do you really think the world revolves around you? I went through all this trouble to stay not for some woman. One, the system screamed insults at me, trying to wake me up at the last moment. Yet my devotion remained unchanged. With a hoarse voice, I pleaded, I'm sorry, but I truly can't live without Bella, please. Host, if you give up now, there's no way back to your original world. You'll never see your family again. My eyes reddened as my entire body trembled desperately, holding back the tears threatening to burst forth. Closing my eyes and clenching my teeth, for her sake, all of this was worth it. A chaotic, buzzing sound rang in my ears, waves of sharp pain throbbing in my head. When everything finally settled into silence, I suppressed my racing heart and kept calling out to the system. No response. It had truly left. I could no longer hold back. I grinned, revealing a row of neat teeth. Just as I was about to stand up, the door swung open. Isabella walked toward me, holding a cup of coffee, her tousled curls swaying with every step. With a sultry flick of her hair, she parted her crimson lips and murmured, Ethan, take a break and have some coffee. I looked up at her and reached out my hand. In the next instant, Isabella withdrew her half-extended hand, elegantly picked up her coffee cup, and poured its contents over my head and face as if watering flowers. Watching my pathetic state, she covered her mouth and giggled, Ethan, you really are a fool. I withdrew my hand, stood up calmly, and took off my dirt-stained coat to wipe my face. Miss Quinn, you've soiled my clothes. Isabella froze. For a moment, my reaction clearly didn't match her expectations of me. But she quickly regained her smugness, pointing at me and saying, Ethan, you useless discard. Did the system South rejection drive you mad? Haha. Isabella couldn't wait to tell me that she had always been able to hear my conversations with the system. She knew she was this world as heroine, knew she was my mission target, and knew I had come to this world solely to save her, only to destroy her afterward. So she meticulously designed every step to make me fall for her, protect her, and become unwilling to leave her. Sure enough, to stay by her side, I was even willing to defy the system. Growing more pleased with herself, she stretched out her slender fingers to tug at my tie, stood on tiptoe, and whispered breathlessly in my ear, Ethan, being my stepping stone is an honor for you. I curled my lips into a mocking smile. Neither Isabella nor the system knew the chance to be reborn in the original world meant nothing to me. This world held everything I desired in my former life. I was just a wretched soul struggling at the bottom of society with nothing but a broken home. My gambling-addicted father tried every means to exploit me, while my biological mother, after finally remarrying, had eyes only for her precious stepdaughter, avoiding me, the son of a gambler, like the plague. So why should I go back? But I don't plan to tell Isabella any of this. Let her believe I'm madly in love with her. That's what makes it fun. So I looked at her and said earnestly, yes, you win, but you'll have to cover the cost of my clothes. The next day, Isabella held a press conference at the hotel. Amidst the throng of guests and the eager gazes of media representatives, she stood in her exquisite designer gown, raising her glass high to announce to the world, my engagement with Ethan Shaw is hereby canceled. The bombshell sent shockwaves through the crowd. Whispers and camera flashes erupted simultaneously, transforming the hotel lobby into a scene as bustling as a marketplace. Everyone knew the Quinn family was nothing more than a den of vipers rife with internal strife. Had it not been for my reckless support of Isabella, despite the Shaw family's interests, she would never have triumphed over her numerous legitimate and illegitimate siblings to seize control of the Quinn dynasty. So everyone was shocked by this bombshell news. At the center of the spotlight, Isabella was radiant with satisfaction, basking in her triumph. A lovesick follower who relied on his family background to get engaged to me, he does indeed deserve to stand by my side. He should have long since returned the title of Isabella's fiancée to my true love. Sensing the scent of gossip, the crowd instantly fell silent. Under the eager gazes of the onlookers, Isabella walked through the crowd step by step toward a boy wearing a mask and sunglasses. She held his hand and gazed at him affectionately, saying, Leo, the first told you I wouldn't make you my secret lover. No matter how much pressure we face, I'll declare my love for you to the whole world. Today I've done it. The man removed his sunglasses and mask, causing an uproar in the hall. They couldn't understand how a third-rate Hollywood actor could defeat me. Though many of my obsessive behaviors were despicable, I was still the sole heir of the Shaw Group. Only I knew Leo Vance was always the male lead of this world. It was only natural that Isabella was drawn to him. Leo's eyes brimmed with tears as he knelt on one knee, choking up while holding out the ring. Bella, you're the love of my life. I swear I'll cherish you forever. Will you marry me? I silently gave a thumbs up in my heart. Even a third-rate actor is still an actor after all. Isabella blushed crimson, gazing tenderly at Leo as he slipped the ring onto her finger hand. In hand, they walked back to the center of the hall. Amidst camera flashes and the click-clack of shutters, reporters swarmed forward. Leo ignored the cameras the entire time, his eyes never leaving Isabella. The media never one to shy away from stirring the pot, asked Miss Quinn, have you considered Mr. Shaw's feelings by so publicly calling off the engagement? Leo pulled Isabella closer, stepping forward protectively as he intercepted the question. I know Ethan loves Bella deeply, but I believe love isn't about self-sacrificial devotion or possession. The most important thing in loving someone is respecting their feelings. Ethan, I hope you can learn to be a gentleman. Please stop harassing Bella from now on. The words were spoken with utter rudeness and provocation. Everyone turned to look at me, their eyes sparkling with a gleam of gossip, as if anticipating a dramatic scene. Looks like I should have gone into acting. After all, the brainless follower persona I've been wholeheartedly playing has left such a deep impression on everyone. So being too good at acting is also a problem. This Leo probably sees me as his number one rival in love. Under everyone's gaze, I calmly stared at the male and female leads before me. Very well, since Miss Quinn has unilaterally announced the termination of our engagement, there's no point in me clinging on in that case. May I have all the projects under my responsibility returned to me? Isabella looked at me with utter disdain. Ethan, you're truly beneath my contempt. Is this amusing to you, or you try to remind me that the company can't function without you? Do you think this will make me keep you by my side? I thought everyone present probably shared her sentiment. After all, in everyone's eyes, I was the hopelessly devoted one. She went on to say I was being childish and ridiculous, that the Quinn conglomerate was too vast to care about my measly project. She told me to take all my team members with me. She wouldn't waste Quinn Corporation's resources, nurturing those ungrateful traitors who remained loyal to me. I smiled as I listened to her finish speaking, then turned to leave. Before walking away, I grabbed the nearest reporter and waved my phone at him. Can I get your contact info? When you have time, send me a copy of Miss Quinn's passionate speech. I'll send you a big red envelope. The young man nodded eagerly like a pecking chick, whispering excitedly, Mr. Shao, no need for the red envelope. Just don't forget to share the scoop with me when you have it. At 3 p.m., I saw the friend request on my phone and immediately hit accept. Thought it was the reporter guy, but turns out it's Isabella's true love. Ethan, Bella doesn't want to see you again. I'll clean up your stuff for you. I'll transfer you $50,000 as compensation. Photo JPG, photo JPG, photo JPG. Before I could reply, a barrage of voice messages and photos came through. I stared at the images of my belongings, scattered in complete disarray, utterly speechless. Though I had no intention of keeping any of these things, it'd be a shame not to milk this opportunity after years of exhausting performances. So I feigned furious indignation in my response. These are my personal belongings. What right do you have to dispose of them for me? Does Isabella? No, all my clothes are brands. You can't afford those. Watches are limited editions, and the custom gowns, bags, and jewelry I got for Bella. Do you think 50,000 is enough? It's at least 5 million. Of course, someone of your social standing might not understand their value. I get that. So my advice, pack everything up neatly and put it all back where it belongs. Damaging someone else's property is a crime. I won't hesitate to call the police. Ding, not long after my account received a transfer of 5 million from Isabella, along with a voice message, of course. Ethan, I'm now the one steering the Quinn family. Consider this money as a little something for your tea. I took the money and immediately distributed generous bonuses to the project team members. Isabella had dismissed the financial comfort, soothed their wounded hearts, and they were all moved to pledge their loyalty to me. A smirk curled my lips, knowing the original plot all too well. I was acutely aware of the enormous profits this project team, assembled by me, the infatuated second male lead, to please Isabella, would bring in the future. If things went according to the storyline, they would carve out a new frontier for Quinn Enterprises, propelling the once unremarkable company to become the nation's leading corporation. Since the noble female lead doesn't value these things, then I, the infatuated supporting male character, have no choice but to reluctantly take them over. For without the system, and having left Isabella behind, I finally slept soundly with nothing weighing on my mind. The moment I stepped through the door carrying bags of all sizes, my mother rushed to me in a flash, while my father pretended to be focused on sipping tea with his legs crossed, though his ears were practically perked up. Son, is what they're saying on the news true? You really broke up with that Miss Quinn. The engagement is off. You two are really done. My mom pointed excitedly at the trending hashtag on her phone, eager to confirm if her wish had come true. Yes, we're over. From now on we go our separate ways and have nothing to do with each other, I declared firmly to my mom. Then my dad coldly reminded my mom, Humph, don't you believe him? The moment that Quinn girl calls your precious son, will come running with his tail wagging. Can't blame my dad for mocking me back. Then to convince both the system and Isabella my lovesick devotion, I had zero bottom line in this relationship. My elbows were perpetually turned outward. I used my family's connections to pave the way for Isabella. Skipped working at our own company to eagerly become her lackey. Whatever Isabella said carried more weight than a presidential decree to me. Once she casually remarked that the money tree in my dad's office was ugly, so I scalded it to death with boiling tea water. My dad was so furious with me that he chased me several flights of stairs with his prize golf club. After hearing what my dad said, the light instantly drained from my mom's eyes. She sat dejectedly on the sofa, her eyes rimmed red. Mom, it's really over between Isabella and me. I squatted in front of my mother and assured her. Then I turned to look at my dad. Dad, I need to discuss something with you. My father gave me a sidelong glance. Where are you up to now? After some deliberation, I decided to speak directly. I want to return to the company. I want to take over. My father set down his teacup with a loud clatter, abandoning his drink entirely. You little bastard, is this about that Isabella again? Last time, she was eyeing our clients, and you just handed them over what now got dumped and planning to gift her the whole company. Truly, every generation produces its own fool, but you're a complete and utter idiot. Pointing at my nose, my father berated me mercilessly. I never knew my usually composed and dignified father had such an extensive vocabulary of insults stored up inside him. Fortunately, with my track record of misdeeds, I had anticipated this scenario and quickly swore to the heavens that I had truly reformed. My mother, who pitted both me and my father, stepped in to persuade him not to be angry. Exhausted from scolding my father, took the out my mother offered and slumped onto the couch, weakly saying to me, "If you want to return to the company, fine. There's a new project where one of the competitors is Quinn Enterprises. You've fooled me so many times. If you want me to believe you go in this project, let me see if the water in your brain is really dried up. Perfect, this suits me just fine. The old man is practically my divine assistant." My dad waved me away wearily. "Get lost, you little troublemaker." I scurried off immediately and notified my brothers and sisters in the project team. Work S coming in. Isabella was busy seducing me before then, occupied with her secret affair with Leo, so I've been handling most things all along. Isabella felt completely at ease with me, her ultimate shadow, because she could hear my conversations with the system. As a result, despite not even holding a proper position at Quinn Enterprises, my access privileges were nearly on par with hers. What's even more absurd is that she kicked out the entire team simply because they interacted with me more than with her letting me walk away with the golden goose. This time I do like to see how she plans to compete with the Shao group for the project. 5, to make up for the damage I've caused to our family company over the years, I've been working day and night on projects recently. My mother, heartbroken seeing me like this, has been preparing different kinds of nourishing soups every day and delivering them to the company to help me recover. My father, seeing that I've finally come to my senses, has been grinning from ear to ear with joy. He has been taking my mother along to drag me to various gatherings with business partners and family friends, paving the way for me to take over the company. Everything was moving in a positive direction. It would have been perfect if I hadn't run into the so-called female lead and male lead. What's the rush? The moment Bella calls, that fool Ethan will come running to deliver the proposal to her. You're all more anxious than the emperor, while the eunuchs fret. My mother was so furious, she charged forward, smack landing a slap right across Leo's face. "Who do you think you're, insult my son again, and I'll tear your mouth apart." Leo was startled at first and didn't dare fight back, but when he spotted me trailing behind, he puffed up his neck and grew bold again. I speaking the truth. Hasn't your precious son been exactly like this all these years? What afraid of hearing the truth now. With a mocking laugh, he continued, "Ethan, since you've heard everything, why don't you do the honorable thing? At least this way you'll leave Bella with a good impression." My father glared at me furiously, his meaning crystal clear. "What nonsense is this? Why aren't you putting him in his place immediately?" Yet I simply stepped forward to pat my mother's back, soothing the old lady's anger, paying no attention to Isabella and Leo at all. It's not yet time to show my hand. It seems I've truly spoiled Isabella these past few years. Even a third-rate actor like Leo dares to rely on her influence and openly slap the Shao family in the face. Well, Isabella is, after all, this world's female protagonist. The less guarded she is against me now, the more advantageous it is for me. I thought by choosing to let sleeping dogs lie, this matter would be put to rest. Little did I expect that seeing my silence and lack of rebuttal, Isabella would assume I'm still that obedient lapdog who caters to her every whim. She tenderly stroked Leo's reddened cheek where my mother had struck him, then said to me with contemptuous certainty, "Ethan, I'll be waiting for your family of 3 to come apologize at my doorstep." With that, she took Leo's hand and strode away. On the way back, my father was so angry he refused to ride in the same car with me, while my mother sat beside me, furiously pounding the seat. After exhausting her pounding, she grabbed my clothes and demanded, "Why didn't you slap him just now? Did you hear Isabella telling me and your father to come apologize? Why didn't you argue back? Are you actually planning to go? Do you still have feelings for her?" I sighed softly. "Mom, I want to apologize, and I certainly want to let you apologize. Either someone who doesn't know how to respect me, worth my love." My mother's eyes reddened as she turned away, quietly sobbing. At that moment, my heart ached as if pierced by needles. All these years of deceiving the system had truly hurt my family, who loved me. 6, as expected, the Quinn Corporation, already on shaky foundations, couldn't possibly find a suitable team in such a short time. Isabella has been condescendingly reaching out to me for several days to prove that breaking off our engagement 1T affect Quinn Enterprises. Ethan, where's the project proposal? Don't make me actually dislike you. You've got one day to think it through. If you stand me up, don't blame me for ignoring you forever. Ethan, I'm warning you, I chuckled at the text message, shaking my head speechlessly. Isabella, who has been sheltered in the greenhouse for too long, ought to experience what real business warfare looks like. I thought the long, haughty Isabella would at most send me some texts. Who would be guessed with 3 days left until the deadline? Isabella actually came to see me. Fine, I overestimated her. Ethan, what do you mean by this? She barged straight into the conference room, her face dark with anger, and publicly confronted me. Ethan, have you had enough of playing hard to get? Seeing that I remained silent, she glared at me, furiously slammed the table, and said, first send the project proposal immediately. Second, your whole family must apologize to Leo. Third, you and your entire project team must return to Quinn Enterprises. After speaking, she lifted her chin and looked at me. Do all these things, and I might consider giving you another chance. I stared at Isabella as if she were insane. It had to be said, as the female lead, Isabella was goddess tier in both looks and demeanor. Unfortunately, without me, her ever-present shadow at her beck, and call the dark circles under her eyes and the exhaustion on her face, have noticeably dragged down her beauty. Isabella's arrogant demeanor infuriated the project team members, but given my past misdeeds, they dared not voice their anger. They could only watch me with a mix of frustration and concern. Watching Isabella's hysterics and the team members' constipated expressions, I couldn't hold back a laugh. Clearing my throat, I waved over the security guard. Escort Miss Quinn out from now on. If anyone lets irrelevant people come and go as they please, they can head straight to HR to process their resignation. Ethan, Isabella looked incredulous as security dragged her out of the conference room. She glared at me and hissed through clenched teeth, you'll regret this. I laughed it off. The one who regret this wouldn't be me. There was no doubt my team had secured the project. Just as we were popping champagne to celebrate, Isabella called again. She yelled at me, Ethan, I think you've lost your mind. I quickly held the phone farther away to protect my ears. Do you think treating me like this will make me change my mind? Do you think I can't see through your thoughts? ISNT. It's just to prove how awesome and powerful you are. Isabella sneered, humph. If you think this method will make me unable to leave you, you're wrong, dead wrong. I respond to kindness, not force. The more you act like this, the more I rubbed my forehead. You know what? I interrupted Isabella's endless chatter. I have megalophobia. Well, I'm terrified of giant idiots. 7 successfully secured the project. Of course, my parents were the happiest. That evening after work, my mom personally cooked me a lavish feast with a table full of delicious dishes. My dad even brought out his treasured liquor. Ha ha ha, the people at the company said this kid actually scolded Isabella today. We have to celebrate, ha ha. What could I do? He asked my own father after humoring his craziness. I seized a moment while he was in high spirits to suggest finding a spokesperson. My dad sobered up instantly, eyeing me warily. What scheme are you plotting now, you little rascal? I understood his concern. My dad, being an old-school entrepreneur, values solid product development above all. In his eyes, flashy marketing gimmicks are just distractions from real work. But times have changed now. Even fine wine fears being hidden in deep alleys. Good American brands should promote themselves more to let consumers know rather than letting the tides of time wash them away. I was prepared for my father's reaction. Though I've been love-struck these years, my knowledge of the plot and my own efforts have helped me secure much of the business territory for Isabella. When it comes to professional competence, my father didn't doubt me much. Just as I had almost convinced him, I dropped another bombshell. Dad, if we keep resting on our laurels, sooner or later we'll be trampled underfoot by other companies like Quinn Enterprises, which is always at odds with us. Is that what you want? My dad had too much to drink. Not only was his head swaying like a rattle drum, but his words also started running wild. Arthur Quinn, that old fox, loved playing dirty tricks. Even when he was young, if it weren't for his influential father-in-law, he would bankrupted the company. And now his daughter is just the same ugh. My mom shot him a sharp glare, and my dad, frightened, quickly cut himself off, afraid of stirring up painful memories for me. I chuckled lightly and pulled out the documents I had prepared long ago. I've already found the right person. Just sign him with my dad's approval. The marketing department swiftly handled all the necessary preparations for the contract. Just looking at the celebrity I wanted to sign, the marketing manager's frown was deep enough to crush a fly. After pacing back and forth outside my office countless times, so much that the floor had been polished, shiny manager Zhang finally mustered the courage to knock and voice his concerns. This Julian guy is practically a nobody. Even my high school daughter, who spends all her time online chasing celebrities, has never heard of him. Spending this endorsement fee would be worse than just doing offline promotions. Manager Zhang blurted it all out in one breath. Seeing I wasn't upset, he tentatively asked President Xiao, maybe we should reconsider. Then he left dejectedly. I know everyone thinks I'm crazy, but only I understand that this male celebrity named Julian Reed, who currently seems like a nobody, is actually a rising star on the verge of exploding in popularity. He filmed a yet-to-be-aired fantasy epic series. Although he's just a supporting actor after the show airs, he'll become more popular than the male lead in the original plot. Isabella would notice him at a cocktail party and sign him. Grateful for Isabella's recognition, and combined with the female lead's halo effect, Julian naturally fell in love with her. But he was merely a cannon fodder supporting male character. His existence was meant to serve as a contrast to the male lead. Signing him at this moment isn't just about profiting from his future fame. The most important thing is from the day I decided to stay in this world, I've been planning how to cut through the web of the original plot. Changing Julian's fate as cannon fodder was in essence changing my own destiny as well. Soon enough, Julian came to the company to shoot the commercial. His performance was excellent, and he was extremely professional. The final advertisement turned out remarkably well, which slightly eased manager Zhang from the marketing department's dissatisfaction. After the advertisement was released, I sent Julian photos of the giant posters hung outside the company and various promotional materials. Never having received such treatment before, Julian was deeply moved. His voice messages to me even choked with emotion. Seizing the moment, I pretended to mentor him like a senior. I have high hopes for you. I believe your face will soon grace advertisements on every street corner. Keep it up, young man. I was grinning foolishly at Julian's grateful messages when Isabella came storming in again. I thought she was here to settle scores because I snatched the ad deal from Julian. I seem to have guessed right, but not entirely. Ethan, is this your only move using these cheap tricks to disgust me? You knew perfectly well Julian is Leo's rival, yet you deliberately chose him for the commercial. Wasn't this just to get my attention? Back when you groveled before me like something lower than a dog, you were merely detestable, but now resorting to such despicable methods, you're downright revolting. Ethan, this isn't how you win me back. You're only making me loathe you more. Since when does trash like Leo, who's flopped straight to the Earth's core, even have rivals? Has his storyline with Julian started this early? As I pondered this matter, Isabella unleashed a torrent of verbal abuse at me. Did she really think I'd just take that line down? Isabella, are you acting so arrogantly because you have the Animal Protection Association backing you up? Go see a doctor if you're sick. Don't come running to me every damn time. I'm not a fucking vet. Please stop looking for me, okay? I'm a person of status. After all, I really don't want people to see me arguing with a pig. You're like a turtle falling into a salt jar. Got nothing better to do, you little bastard. I'm not going to indulge her now. If the timing were right, I'd gather the whole company to roast her alive with an idiom chain. Feeling satisfied after cursing her out, I hung up in a flash. No way, I'm giving her a chance to fire back. Just as I hung up, I saw Leo had also sent me a message. Ethan, I know you hate me, you resent me for taking Bella away, but acting like this only makes you seem childish. Our phone's so smart these days that even pigs can type. It's always Ethan, this Ethan, that I keep worrying he's about to lay an egg any second now. But these two nut jobs are actually perfect for each other. Seems like the heavens have their waste sorting system down pat. 9. Lately, thanks to my excessive hard work, my dad has completely stepped back. He's entered full retirement mode and started a blissful twilight life with my mom. He'd disappear for days at a time traveling, and when he finally came home, he'd leave early and return late, just walking the dog and playing with the cat. Before, my mom used to worry about me working too hard and would occasionally cook something nice to reward me, but now she has completely been led astray by my dad, as if they've forgotten they even have a son. Getting to see them is a challenge. And I can't even complain, or else I'll get a sarcastic jab from my dad. Oh ho ho, if it isn't CEO, Shao managing an entire company isn't enough for you now. You want to boss your own parents around too. Ginger is indeed hotter when old. I couldn't win the argument and had to flee in defeat. Yet today, while I was diligently working at the office, my father stormed in furiously. These shameless creatures, my father spat, shoving his phone right into my face. Thank goodness my face is naturally sturdy. Look at this. I'd love to spit on them both. I leaned back as far as I could before finally managing to see what was on the screen. The screen displayed various retouched photos of Leo, apparently advertisement posters for Quinn Enterprises. That Quinn woman is truly ugly, yet plays dirty. Not only did she copy your idea of hiring a spokesperson, but she also wrote love poems on the ads. It takes a special kind of brain damage to come up with something so nauseating. This wasn't in the original plot. Seems my butterfly wings are starting to take effect. Many things are gradually derailing, hurtling toward unknown directions. Seeing me stare silently at the screen, my father's expression darkened. Son, you're not. Stop. This is getting impolite. I quickly cut off his wild fantasies. But protagonists are protagonists, while others struggle just to make a splash. The protagonist can summon a tsunami with a casual wave of their hand. While posting the advertisement, Isabella also contacted marketing accounts to leak many candid sweet moments of their daily life, along with a heavily edited proposal video. Rumor has it the sugar content was off the charts. The CP marketing of their domineering female CEO and soft younger puppy relationship exploded across the internet. Opening the social media app immediately shows the two of them trending. Isabella, Leo, divine. Love how adorable is this shy younger man proposing dominance. Oh, sister hungry, feed me. Not only did their ads go viral, but Isabella also capitalized on the massive popularity of their Leo Bella CP to aggressively establish her persona as an independent, wealthy, beautiful woman. Leo went from being completely unknown to directly climbing to second-tier celebrity status. Rumor has it he has already landed new ads and variety shows with big budget scripts and negotiations. Quinn Corporation's revenue also skyrocketed. Their newly launched live stream shopping sold tens of millions in just the first session. At this moment of smug satisfaction, Isabella absolutely mustn't forget to step on me. Her mocking tone dripped with sarcasm through the phone. Ethan, without you, without all those worthless projects of yours, Quinn Enterprises has been doing better than ever. You're a complete and utter failure. You're not just the system as cast off, but mine too, and soon you'll be the market as cast off as well. Mid-sentence, the sound of a door opening came through the phone, followed by Leo's voice. Darling, who are you talking to? Oh, it's Ethan. Did Ethan's endorsement fee for Julian just go down the drain? After all that advertising, the Shao Corporation's performance hasn't budged at all. Maybe Ethan should consider me for Bella's sake. I might just say yes. Isabella laughed, so joyfully, smacking a kiss right on Leo's cheek. Honey, you're just too kind. Someone like Ethan would never appreciate it. That kind of arrogant jerk would never admit defeat. He probably dreams that I can't live without him. The more they talked, the more they clicked, and soon smacking kisses wasn't enough. Gradually, unmistakable sounds began to emerge from the phone. It's just ridiculous. Did these two hide when humanity was evolving? With only two faces to their name, couldn't they be more sparing with the shame? Did these two idiots mistake bleach for cola and drink their brains away? How unlucky. Even my phone feels dirty now. After tasting the sweetness of viral fame, Isabella went galloping down the path of hype without looking back. During the live stream with Leo, she deliberately had someone bring up me, her ex-fiancé. On the live stream, she vividly described how I, relying on the Shao family's wealth, bullied others with my power, and how she endured sacrifices for the sake of the family business. She also painted a touching picture of how she and Leo overcame countless obstacles to be together. As soon as the live stream ended, the fervent Leo Bella shippers went absolutely wild. The entire internet erupted in curses against me. Isabella seized the moment to hire trolls, and by trending hashtags, even my family's company website was flooded by emotionally charged shippers. My mom was so furious, she almost stormed into Quinn Enterprises to tear Isabella apart. My dad stopped drinking tea and playing chess. His new pastime became arguing with shippers online. Amid this uproar, other insiders also came forward, exposing Isabella's endless lies. Ethan forced her. Who in the industry doesn't he know she was the one throwing herself at him? And let us be real, without Ethan, would she even be where she is today? Ethan practically handed the Shao family to her on a silver platter just to get her a voice at Quinn Enterprises. Now that she's climbed the ladder, not only does she dump him, but she has the audacity to play the independent woman card. I'm genuinely jealous of Isabella's. Skin must be real thick to pull this off. OMG, Isabella's shady moves are giving me trypophobia. So many schemes packed together, it's terrifying. I just want to say one thing to certain brainless fans. When a dog barks in the village, the others follow suit, but they don't even know why they're barking. Unfortunately, such words seem insignificant amid the tide of public opinion, where cursing me is seen as justice. What is more, Isabella bought a bunch of sock puppet accounts to flood the comments. Any voices defending me quickly sank without a trace. My complete lack of urgency made my father spin around in frustration. You spineless coward. How can you just let Isabella slander you like this? Hurry up and send her a lawyer's letter demanding a public clarification. I don't want to clarify things now. ID love for the hype to grow even hotter. If you want to destroy someone first, let them go mad. Isabella was already arrogant, and now that she has tasted success, her ambition has grown even wilder. I heard she is launching several projects simultaneously. If these projects proceed smoothly, Quinn Enterprises' current cash flow won't be able to sustain them. If anything goes wrong, well, Dad, as the saying goes, once suspicion arises, the crime is already proven. Everyone is having fun criticizing her now. Why should I pour cold water on it? After saying this, I poured my dad a cup of kung fu tea to help the old man cool down. Those who wrong me know better than anyone that I'm innocent. Will talking to her yield any results? After saying this, I whispered mysteriously to him, keep calm. The hunting hour is coming soon. 11. The TV series I've been eagerly awaiting has finally premiered. As expected, the innovative theme, exquisite costumes, and sets, plus the abundance of handsome men and beautiful women made this drama go viral right from its premiere. Julian's ethereal appearance and superb acting skills caused his popularity to skyrocket overnight, making him an instant sensation. Under my orchestration, fans unearthed Julian's earlier low-budget web series, where he still delivered outstanding performances despite the limited production. With me fueling the momentum behind the scenes, he became even more famous than in the original storyline, a rising star with unstoppable momentum. This time, the Shao Corporation's website was flooded again, but now by fervent fans eager to promote their idol after their deep dive into his career. They discovered he only had this one endorsement, so the site was overwhelmed with praise and soaring sales. "Ha, my son Robert Shaw is amazing," my dad giggled foolishly while holding his phone. Ever since his experience clashing with the Leo Bella shippers online, the old man has embraced a life of high-intensity internet surfing. Holding his phone, he screams and cheers along with the youngsters, contributing views and engagement for Julian. My mom put her hands on her hips and spat. "Dad, that S, clearly my son Maria Shaw, stop trying to take credit." My father S, driver, clicked his tongue in amazement. "President Shao, maybe you should switch careers and become a talent scout. I reckon that'd be way more profitable than making products." I shook my head with a smile. Julian was an exception in this world. Such good fortune wouldn't last forever. While some rejoiced, others lamented. Isabella was having an easy time these days. The internet was flooded with hot searches about Julian's drama series, with everyone busy binge watching, digging up old content, and shipping new CP's character pairings. Her and Leo's popularity had now been overshadowed by even greater hype, temporarily derailing her plans to leverage their online buzz to promote the company's products. And because of my kindness in recognizing Julian's talent, his fans passionately boosted sales while also transferring their affection to me, starting to whitewash my reputation. As they put it, how could someone who had the vision to discover brother Julian possibly be a bad person? Those long-buried posts supporting me, which had previously sunk without a trace, were miraculously unearthed by these omnipotent fans. They even dug up instances where Julian had publicly defended me during previous controversies using his verified accounts on Instagram and Twitter. Unfortunately, he was too obscure at the time. Those statements not only went unnoticed, but were also met with waves of abuse. The omnipotent fans traced the abusive accounts and discovered that all those insulting Julian were paid trolls. They even identified Isabella as the one who hired the trolls and compiled all the evidence into a PowerPoint presentation. Once again, the entire internet exploded. Isabella's wish for attention was fulfilled once more, this time with even greater intensity than before. The only difference was that last time she gained fame, while this time she gained infamy. Those who manipulate public opinion eventually fall victim to it. Thanks to her notorious reputation, even the products under Quinn Enterprises were affected. The new product line Quinn Enterprises had just launched, having only invested initial capital, was aborted before its debut due to a broken funding chain. I heard that Quinn Enterprises held an emergency meeting to discuss whether to remove Isabella from her position to mitigate the negative impact. Meanwhile, capitalizing on the traffic Julian brought and the sympathy netizens had for this fool, I promptly launched a new product. At the same time, I collaborated with uncles and aunts from our family's longtime friends to organize a major crossover with American domestic brands. Not only did this spark a new wave of traffic for domestic goods, resulting in massive sales, but also earned us government recognition, praising our company as a responsible national brand. My dad has been grinning from ear to ear with those big white teeth of his lately, and my mom's laugh lines are showing as she keeps making soup for me, even while wearing our masks. 12 Isabella panicked and started bombarding me with texts and calls. I couldn't stand reading her idiotic messages anymore, nor did I want to waste time listening to her nonsense. So I blocked all her contact methods outright. Being unable to reach me drove Isabella completely insane. "Ethan, get out here." The conference room door was kicked open by Isabella. Her hair was disheveled, her demeanor frenzied, as she swung her high heels at the security guards. When she saw me, her eyes burned with rage. She slammed her high heels on the table and screamed at me. "Ethan, if you can't have me, you'll destroy me. Is that it? If this is your way of getting my attention, you've succeeded. What more do you want now?" How answer me. I waved my hand, signaling the others to leave first. Isabella, the first sighed, deeply leaning back in my chair and taking a sip of water. "Tell me, is it possible that I never loved you at all?" Isabella jerked her head up to look at me, her entire body trembling involuntarily. Impossible, impossible. "Ethan, what nonsense are you saying?" Isabella transformed into a desk-clearing maniac, sweeping everything off the conference table in one furious motion. She screamed hysterically, "You've done so much for me, even abandoned the system. How could you not love me? You're just trying to get my attention. You're afraid I'll leave you." I waited quietly for her performance to end until she collapsed to the ground exhausted. At this point, the plot had completely derailed, and I no longer intended to keep up the act. Is it possible I never wanted the system? Is it possible I never wanted to go back? Isabella widened her eyes, staring at me in disbelief. Is there a possibility that I knew from the very beginning that you were aware of my secret? I stepped toward Isabella one pace at a time. The woman who had been so arrogant and frenzied moments ago now trembled uncontrollably, shaking her head desperately as she struggled to retreat, beads of cold sweat forming on her forehead. Watching her like this, I softened my voice and spoke gently. To tell you the truth, ever since I discovered you could hear my conversations with the system, I knew I was merely your prey, and as it happens, I needed to be your prey. Looking at her deathly pale face, I continued, after breaking free from the system, we could have left each other alone. Unfortunately, you weren't willing to let me go. Isabella trembled like a leaf in the autumn wind, terrified, and disheveled. Her eyes were red, tears streaming down continuously. Seeing her like this, I found it utterly dull. Taking advantage of her dazed state from the shock, I quickly pressed the button to call security. Before she was dragged away, I said to her one last time, Isabella, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be the protagonist, but you shouldn't have chosen to trample on others' dignity and lives to become one. 13. I thought we'd have no further contact after that, but who knew Isabella would keep changing numbers to harass me daily? What's more, her tone completely changed, becoming unnervingly gentle, as if possessed. Ethan, I brewed your favorite coffee. Would you like to try some? It's been so long since we last met. Have you missed me? Ethan, I really can't forget the days we spent together. I dreamed about you again last night. Ethan, let us get back together. Unable to bear the harassment any longer, I forwarded everything to her in one go. The video. The reporter sent me screenshots of her insults, live stream recordings of her with Leo, and more. Perhaps recalling her own arrogant demeanor, Isabella finally quieted down for a while. Unfortunately, it didn't even last a day before she started making all sorts of excuses to whitewash her image barred from entering the company. She began ambushing me downstairs in the parking garage and at industry gatherings. Every time she sees me, she wears a pale face, sorrowful eyes, and two clear trails of tears, utterly broken. Honestly, it's quite terrifying at night. Left with no choice, I forwarded everything she sent me to Leo, hoping her true love could keep her in check and stop her from scaring people. Who knew the male lead's brain worked in equally bizarre ways? Leo actually went live, heartbroken and denouncing me for meddling in his relationship with Isabella. He posted edited, out-of-context chat logs inciting online harassment against me. I deeply suspect that in this world, the first criterion for selecting male and female leads must be underdeveloped brains. Unfortunately, after the last incident where he slandered me, the general public didn't buy his story, especially Julian S. fans. Not only did they compile a timeline of interactions between the three of us, but they also pointed out the photoshopping evidence in Leo's provided images. Before I even had a chance to clarify, Julian S. formidable fans had already torn Leo to shreds, leaving no trace behind. The reporter who provided me with the video also rode this wave of attention to release the complete footage. It not only fully exposed Isabella's ugly behavior, but also clearly showcased Leo's glorious deeds of knowingly being the other man. Even at this point, Leo still refuses to give up and resorts to his old tricks, buying trolls and banning accounts. Unfortunately, Julian directly reposted the investigative journalist's expose video and a comprehensive dossier compiled by his own fans, captioning it, "Justice lies in the hearts of the people. I will always believe in President Xiao." The fans who got noticed by their idol were so excited they went wild, and public opinion spiraled completely out of control. If Leo had stopped stirring up trouble, he might not have become a superstar, but he could still have enjoyed a comfortable life in Hollywood. But thanks to his own reckless antics, netizens widely condemned his shameless behavior. Brands that had signed contracts with him swiftly terminated deals with such a disgraced figure as films and TV shows, had to recast roles and reshoot, and the despised Leo now faces sky-high compensation claims for breach of contract. 14. Faced with such consequences, Leo didn't think to apologize to the deceived netizens, but instead came running to me to make a scene. Having experienced Isabella's madness, our company's security guards had long developed sharp eyes. They spotted Leo from afar and restrained him, leaving him to shout and scream from over 10 meters away. Ethan, I was tricked by Isabella too. I'm also a victim. Now the whole internet is cursing me, and they're demanding compensation. Ethan, I beg you, please say something on my behalf. Ethan, I know I was wrong. I was so stupid to be fooled by that woman. I didn't mean to. I never wanted to hurt you. Please forgive me. By the end of it, Leo, a grown man, was actually sobbing uncontrollably. Just as he was pouring his heart out, begging for my forgiveness with all the acting skills he could muster, Isabella came running over too. She started punching and kicking Leo, cursing and blaming him for seducing her, insisting that she and I were the perfect match meant to be together, while calling Leo a gold-digging pretty boy. Leo fired back, calling her a fickle, promiscuous old hag who ruined his future. Isabella retorted by calling him a jinx who got her kicked out of Quinn Enterprises, leaving her with nothing. The two of them started tearing into each other right in front of my company as in trance. Reporters swarmed in like sharks, smelling blood, dashing toward the scene. Seeing the situation spiral out of control, I quickly had security drag those two further away. If they wanted to make fools of themselves, I wasn't about to join them. But just before Isabella was dragged off, she suddenly pointed at me and shrieked, "He is not Ethan, he is fake, he is a counterfeit brought here by the system, he is a fraud, a liar." Yet no one paid her any mind. Isabella kept raging, "I'll call the police, they arrest you, you imposter." Unfortunately, when the police arrived, they thought she had dialed the wrong number. Perhaps a mental hospital would suit her better. Isabella was utterly devastated. She collapsed to the ground, wailing and thrashing about. She kept muttering incoherently, "He is fake, he is not Ethan, believe me, please believe me." Seeing her disheveled and covered in filth, I felt not an ounce of pity. Calmly, I instructed my secretary to prepare the documents needed for the upcoming meeting. After all the days ahead are long, my own life has only just begun. The end.